I took 2 steps backward from where the last video left off. And imagine I've got this selected, and then I shift click and select, and then hit the P to parent these together, and then of course we're going to parent that together. Okay, so now we've got the index finger selected, and I'm going to duplicate the index finger and drag it down, and then I'm going to rename this to middle finger, right, or middle, M-I-D-D. Okay, and then duplicate middle, and we'll call this ring, R-I-N-G, for ring finger, and then we'll duplicate and call this pinky, P-I-N-K-Y. Okay, and then if we select, okay, let's make a thumb, so Control D, or Command Apple D, and then we can rotate our thumb into position. Notice how I'm, again, moving, and I'm just going to stuff this in here for right now. I can scale all these down to get the nice size and thickness of a thumb that we want. And I'm going to shift select so that I've got all the fingers, and then click once. And notice the green and everything else is white. So everything's selected, and it's going to get parented to the hand when I hit the P. Okay, so now we've got our arm complete. And then let's select and duplicate. So then what we're going to do is, here's a quick way of taking the red scale. Notice the red is the X. So under scale X, if I change that, I'm going to just hit the arrow key to come back to the beginning of this value, 1.815. And I'm just going to make it a minus 1.815 and then hit return. What that'll do is it'll flip the arm over right off of this plane. And then if I want to move the object to the other side of my model, we can do the same with the legs. So let's go ahead and scale the leg out, and so we'll make our leg and foot. So go ahead and finish your model up, and then you're going to save your model. File, save scene as, and it's going to be titled Your Name Project 1. And notice I'm very carefully pointing this out again and again, but there is no spaces here. It's first name underscore middle, or last name underscore project underscore 1. So you need to be very careful when you're naming these objects. Okay, so wrap that project up, complete it. Okay, so I've gone and duplicated and made these each one of these cubes a parent of the other one. So if I click on the hips, I'll have the whole object selected. If I select the head, I'll have the head only selected, just like I would with the tip of my thumb. Oops, I need to make sure that everything's named properly. So go ahead and double check your naming of all your fingers to make sure that you have that correct. Okay, here's my hand, and then F frames it. Okay, so I've got my thumb, thumb 1, thumb 2, index, index 1, index 2, middle, ring 1, pinky 2. So they're all, everything. I could go through the whole thing, but you want to make sure that you've named everything. Very important for character development. You'll see at a later date, but you know, get in the practice now of being very specific about what you're building and how you're naming your things. There's a nice window that can be helpful for this. One of the easiest location of all windows to find is under Window, and then we're looking at the outliner, and when that pops up, you can see that all we can see is our hips unless we open this up, and then we can see all the parts that are parented off of the hips. And if we want to unfold the whole thing all at once, if you hold the shift